Like Donald Trump knows not to say those things. You know what I mean? Donald Trump is a massive racist. Okay. And even he's like, watermelon jokes. That's a bit too far. Don't you think, Tony?
Sad.
Don't do that
Very
one.
sad.
I don't like it. Like most of the greats in terms of shock comedy are like Andrew Dice Clay, and Andrew Dice Clay overall not very good. Like he's not. I think that's what the problem is that like people remember them as like comedy greats, but if you actually look at their material, it's like like it's kind of hack. And the actual comedy greats like George Carlin have actually directly called that out. As a matter of fact, like Dice's ass, but an OG. Exactly. That's the best way to present it. Andrew Dice Clay is an OG, but he's not exactly very good. I don't think he was actually very good ever. Jeselnik on Shock Comics.
All these comics now, it's like almost the point is to get in trouble. It's like, why are you giving me shit? I'm a comic. I'm allowed to say whatever I want. That's wrong, as far as I'm concerned. Art.
Oh wait, say it again so I don't miss it.
People think like, oh, as a comic, your job is to get in trouble, and so, but they don't want to get yelled at. It's like it's okay to make people mad, but they don't want any pushback, and I think that's wrong. As a comedian, you want to make people laugh. This is a quote attributed to Andy Warhol that I love. It's just art is getting away with it. You know, if you put out a special and everyone's pissed, like you didn't get away with it. You know, you need to make everyone laugh that they're like, yeah, he talked some up stuff, but we're all happy.
That's actually brilliant.
That's art.
Yeah, it's true.
Otherwise, you're just a troll.
Yeah.
And like it's hack.
Yeah.
And the funniest thing is, or the craziest thing is, I think that is the hardest type of joke to make work. Okay. Which is why I think like Nick Mullins, some of his best material is directly in that realm, because he has the capacity to make some of the most like unacceptable, inappropriate things work because he's very funny. Okay. A lot of these guys, on the other hand, can't do that. Okay. And I'm not saying like, I'm not one of those guys that like will look at test material, because in the worst era of like liberal media at the end of the Obama era, we had people that would just like film people's like stand-up sets at comedy clubs and whatnot when they're like working out their material, right? And they'd be like, oh, here it is. Like this person is being racist. It's like, yeah, they are. They're testing out their material. Sometimes it's going to bomb. Like that's a part of the process. Like it's not always going to hit. And if it doesn't hit, especially if you're testing out material that is like edgy, if it doesn't hit, it's going to come across as incredibly racist. But the goal overall is to make people laugh. The problem is, I think in the aftermath of that, with the unimaginable amounts of backlash towards like every single comedian, most comedians turned around and started just like railing against cancel culture all the time. And to me, that actually did kill a big part of comedy. That killed a lot of comedy, because most comedians just started doing classic culture war shit nonstop. Just like, oh God, cancel culture sucks. Cancel culture sucks. It's like, we get it, man. We get it. It sucks. Stop complaining. Like, Jesus Christ. And that's the issue here, in my opinion. It's just like, you're just at a certain point, you become like just a guy complaining on stage. You're just whining. You're not dissecting like things that are happening in the real world and like pointing out the stupidity of it. Okay. Like you're supposed to punch up and not punch down. That's not always the case either. It's like a very reductive way of looking at it, but I understand what you're saying, right? Like you're supposed to punch up, not punch down is like a pretty good way. Like it's a pretty good starting point. Comedy is more diverse than that in general, but I get it. Like I think it's a solid fundamental to build on, but that's not always going to capture everything.
I would defend to the death his right to do everything he does. The thing that I find unusual, and it's not a criticism so much, but his targets are underdogs, and comedy traditionally has picked on people in power, people who abuse their power. Women and gays and immigrants are kind of, to my way of thinking, underdogs. And, he ought to be careful because he's Jewish. And a lot of the people who want to pick on these kind of groups, the Jews are on that list a little further. You got women, gays, gypsies, blah, 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 and then suddenly you find Jews. And Andrew,
suddenly Andrew's arrested.
Yeah, so, I mean, obviously, he should do what he wants. And
why does he get away with it, do you think, then?
Well,
we have never laughed at jokes about the
Well,
poor.
he's appealing. I think he's appealing largely. I think his core audience are young white males who are threatened by these groups. I think a lot of these guys aren't sure of their manhood because that's a problem when you're going in through adolescence.
I think he's talking about Andrew Dice Clay here, actually. Like, if I'm not mistaken, he's talking about Andrew Dice Clay, right?
You know, am I really? Could I be? I hope I'm not one of them. And the women who assert themselves and are competent are a threat to these men, and so are immigrants in terms of jobs and the
so that's why we as an audience then will laugh.
You say we. I don't think you're.
I don't know.
But I
mean,
think you're
collective we.
I think that's what is at the core of that experience that takes place in these arenas. Is a certain, a sharing of anger and rage at these targets. And I'm sure Andrew isn't that angry at them. I'm sure he's playing it as a comic.
I've said this time and time again, okay? It's the Hannah Gadsby effect, all right? A lot of comedians basically do Hannah Gadsby, but on the opposite side of the political spectrum, where they're not doing comedy, they're not looking for laughter, they're looking for applause. And the moment that you stop looking for laughter and you start chasing applause breaks, you're basically doing a TED Talk. You're not doing stand-up, you're doing a goddamn TED Talk, okay? Hannah Gadsby is Nanette. Conservative Nanette is what I'm saying, exactly. And that is, in my opinion, comedy poison, okay? It's comedy poison. That's why I despise Bill Maher and love Bill Burr, right? Bill Maher does it all the time, every night, every time he goes on a show, he does the exact same shit. Okay, and I say this as someone who gives a broad, I'm more understanding of like comedians trying to test out material and like failing to do so, or comedians appearing completely unacceptable in like podcasts or whatever when they're also once again trying to test out material, like the Shane Gillis phenomenon. Shane Gillis, when he was tested out for SNL originally, had a whole bunch of like Nick Mullen style bits that he was trying to do. And they were pretty like anti-Asian for sure, right? Especially because like it was, you know, you have hours and hours and hours of material on your podcast. People are going to be able to clip shit out of that. I know that better than anybody else. I have hours and hours and hours of material commentary on this broadcast, right? Like I'm streaming for 8 to 10 hours a day. You can clip something that is the exact opposite of what I mean on a daily basis, and many people do, right? So I get it. Won't someone please think of the whites? No, oh my God, boo, sharing of grievances, won't someone think of the whites? No, you're misunderstanding the point that I'm making, okay? Shane Gillis didn't go in that like grievance route. He went back to the drawing board and he basically worked on his material, made it better. And he was already funny. He had a lot of funny jokes. He had a lot of funny bits to begin with. And he worked on them over and over again. And then ultimately he had an SNL episode, he had a bunch of stand-up specials that absolutely banged. And there it is. Like, look at him now. He has the most successful podcast on Patreon. And also on top of that, like he has a bunch of Netflix comedy shows and specials and all this stuff. And many people like him. What were you going to say? We're going to get back to the rally. I just wanted to like do this classic thing about do this. I'm going to get back to the rally in a second. I just wanted to help people. Like I wanted to establish my position here on like what I believe in terms of like comedy. That my analysis isn't just like, I'm woke and I hate jokes that make me go, I don't like it. I'm trying to contextualize it.
My humor's dark and like so much so that I can't even like, I probably won't even talk about some of the comedians that I've, enjoyed. That's how bad it is sometimes.
Yeah.
So I like good comedy.
Joe Rogan said Trump should hire Hinchcliffe to write bangers about his political opponents.
No, not my own comedy. Okay, no, not my own shit.
Okay. Let's just move on from your analysis before people start trying to figure out who you were actually listening to, and then like try to.
No, they're all very famous comedians.
Okay, stop. It doesn't matter.
Stavros, there's one.
It would behoove him to hire a few great comics to just tour with them. and just write one-liners about all these different people.
I mean,
if he could remember them, I mean, I know he likes to go off his own head, but if he could remember a few Hinchcliffe bangers, if he hires Hinchcliffe to take him on the road,
like, it's so bad. It's just like, this is propped up exclusively by friendship. Okay, it's a bubble. This right here, the Joe Rogan like inner circle, is just a bubble, and it's perhaps its greatest evidence that it's propped up by a bubble is the fact that even Joe Rogan's immediate fans, like his most ride or die fans, cannot stand Brendan Schaub, but Joe still has him on all the time. They can't stand him. Like, even they're like, dude, stop. He sucks. Okay? That's it. This is something that most comedians, and I'm friends with a ton, okay? Most comedians don't want to disturb that bubble, okay? Because Joe is, in many respects, a kingmaker, okay? He really is. He is. You go on his podcast, you're going to get swarmed with love, okay, and attention. People are going to go watch your podcast. You can have an entire media career off of just appearing on the Joe Rogan Experience. He basically holds the keys of the castle in that regard. The problem is Tony Hinchcliffe is a great example of this. Like, he's just not that good. He's just not that good. Kill Tony's a great comedy show that could be just as great without Tony. No, it would be better without Tony Hinchcliffe. Kill Tony as a format is fantastic. The worst aspect of Kill Tony is Tony Hinchcliffe. Straight up. It is a great structure. You have a bunch of new comics that have never actually been able to do like stand up, sitting in front of a live audience, which rarely ever happens for them. And also on top of that, sitting in front of famous comedians that then literally look at their tight five and shit on it. Like, it's great. It's a great structure. It's a great structure in general. The problem is it's owned as a media property by Tony Hinchcliffe. It's not even a tight five, it's a tight one. Yeah. So anyway, but Joe still props him up nonstop.
Do you know how insane that would be?
Yeah, dude.
Hinchcliffe writing bangers for Trump to shit on people. Trump was smart. He would hire Shane.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Felix says there should be an Enron type investigations about the Tony Hinchcliffe bubble. They should haul Rogan in front of Congress and ask him under oath if he's ever sat through an entire Kill Tony that he wasn't a guest on, and how many times he laughed if he did. Anyway, Kill Tony has rare funny moments, and the funny moments are almost entirely not Tony Hinchcliffe being funny. It's mostly Shane Gillis. Yes. Kill Tony also got like a massive boost from the Shane Gillis appearances, like where he's doing Trump. Everyone, every dumb guy I know, every normie I know is always like, yo, you see that Kill Tony episode with Shane Gillis? He's so funny. It's so funny. And it's like, yeah, that is funny because Shane is funny. Tony Hinchcliffe is not. But you can't even say this because don't expect Shane Gillis to also come out and be like, yeah, Kill Tony is great. Or don't expect like any of your favorite comedians that have been on Kill Tony to come out and shit on Tony Hinchcliffe anyway, because that's not going to happen either, because it's a bubble. It's like tight knit. Okay. It's very clicky. So Mark Maron put out a whole statement. My woke king. He wrote, the anti-woke flank of the new fascism is being driven almost exclusively by comics, my peers. Whether or not they are self-serving or true believers of new fascism is unimportant. They are the movement. Whether they see themselves as acolytes or just comics doesn't matter. Whether they are driven by the idea that what they are fighting for a free speech issue or whether they are truly morally bankrupt racists doesn't matter. They are part of the public face of a fascist political movement that seeks to destroy the democratic idea. When comedians with podcasts have shameless, self-proclaimed white supremacists and fascists on their show to joke around like they are just entertainers or even just politicians, all it does is humanize and normalize fascism. When someone uses their platform for that reason, they are facilitating anti-American sentiment and promoting violent autocracy. That's it. It's a good take. You won't be surprised to find out there's Tony bits about Palestine that's just as bad.
Palestine, we're all thinking the same thing. Settle your stuff already. Best out of 3. Rock, paper, scissors. You know the Palestinians are going to throw rock every time. But you also know the Jews have a hard time throwing that paper. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, it's so bad. It's so bad. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, brother. Go back. Go back to the writing room, dude. Tony's other racist joke.
Heck yeah, it's cool. Black guy with a thing on his head. What the hell is that? A lampshade? Look at this guy. Oh my goodness. Wow. I'm just kidding. That's one of my buddies. He had a Halloween party last night. We had fun. We carved watermelons together. It was awesome.
Oh, brother, this stinks. Oh, black guy, watermelon. Oh, this is sick, man. You're really reaching. Dude. You're really opening up new avenues with this joke.
Didn't the Trump administration come out and distance themselves?
I don't know. I'm sure they might.
I think they came out. Was that like a fake tweet or something? Didn't they come out with a statement saying that they were like, it doesn't represent the views of the Trump administration or something like that?
Yeah, they also tried to say that it wasn't vetted at first, and then it came out that it definitely was vetted. Yeah.
Trump's.
Yeah, this is from the Bulwark, Mark A. Capito. Trump's shock comic was set to call Harris a Tony Hinchcliffe said at Madison Square Garden wasn't great for the campaign. It could have been much worse. It's wild that Donald Trump is objectively funnier than the comics that he has on, which is crazy. Like Donald Trump knows not to say those things. You know what I mean? Donald Trump is a massive racist, okay? And even he's like, watermelon jokes, that's a bit too far, don't you think, Tony? Sad. Don't do that
Very
one.
Sad.
I don't like it.
It's a little racist, don't you think? It's very sad. Look at my African-American friend over there.
Yeah. It's just, I don't know. Trump would have comics that are less funny than him. That's such a diva. Oh my God, you're right. He was doing diva shit. He was like, I don't want an opener to outflank me. He would be funnier. I don't want someone opening for me to be funnier. I don't want it.
That's so funny.
That's great. That's what it is. Yeah. Abdul. Oh, when I do the bit about Abdul, that kills every time. Every time I show him his photo of his house, I say, Abdul.
Al-Baghdadi.
Yes, Abdul.
He died like a dog.
Yeah. That's cool. His set was so insane. Part of me makes me think he's playing a character. No. Yeah. Don't get that Shane Gillis on. He's funny, but I don't like it.
Oh, dude, Shane Gillis' Trump was...
Yeah. He doesn't like me very much. He makes a funny jokes, but
God, Shane Gillis' Trump.
I don't sound like that.
Maybe be my favorite Trump impression is Shane Gillis' Trump.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's just like, and he goes on Kill Tony, and then everyone's like, oh, I guess Tony Hinchcliffe is funny by osmosis. Like, that's not how this works, man.
No, he was
that's not how
carried.
that works.
He was getting carried.
Yeah. Yeah. That's great. Good stuff. Good stuff from Tony Hinchcliffe. Absolute banger. My man is tanking the campaign personally.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like I was saying before you got in here, how like insane it is to tank that style of joke in front of an audience like that.
Yeah, you got the most racist Deborahs and Hanks from Long Island. Like you got the thin blue line crowd, okay? Everyone's looking like a bag of potatoes out there in the crowd. They're like, yeah.
They're ready
and
for
even they're not like, oh man, that wasn't that funny. I've heard way funnier racist jokes.
Yeah.
Do a better bit.
Hours later, Puerto Rican superstar Bad Bunny reshared a video from Vice President Harris's campaign, posted earlier in the day to his nearly 46.
See, this is an example of a funny joke that's kind of racist. Puerto Rico's trash, spreads crazy rumors about Haitians, can't accept the skin color, green card marriage, is Trump our first Dominican president? That's like, see, there you go. You can make it work, okay? You can make it work. See, if Tony Hinchcliffe said that, people would like that. People would laugh at that. Actually, maybe that crowd would be like, I don't understand. I've never met a Dominican.
I didn't get the joke, and I didn't get it. And that was a little too highbrow for me.
Yeah. See. Okay. Well,
see, I've been that.
That is a good joke. That is actually a good joke.
All right. Okay. Okay.
Oh man. Anthony Jeselnik, famously edgy comedian, likes to quote Andy Warhol, art is getting away with it. Even Seinfeld dropped the whole like woke is killing comedy bit. Like that's the other part of this. Like Seinfeld has never really been funny, also carried by funnier people. That's the secret. Okay. There are a lot of incredibly successful quote unquote comics out there, and they have had an entire career getting carried by funnier people than them. Okay. Seinfeld was carried by Larry David, straight up, significantly funnier. There's always a guy, and sometimes that guy doesn't actually make it in the way that Larry David did. So you never even hear about it. Okay.
I mean like this.
What
I
is
welcome migrants to the United States of America with open arms. And by open arms, I mean like this. It's
boo, this guy stinks.
Wild.
What's
These
more
Latinos-
embarrassing is the tweet, like what the guy said in the tweet. Did you see what he said in the tweet?
Oh yeah, no, he's joking. He's saying the right is starting to get better at comedy and is making the lefties nervous. That's a meme from like way back in the day. I think it was Paul Joseph Watson who first said that.
Oh.
There's a couple things from like the early Trump era that have stuck, which is the right is starting to get better at comedy and it's making the lefties nervous. And then the other one is conservatism is punk rock. Neither is true, but you know, Republicans like to fantasize about it.
They love making babies too, just know that.
What?
It's wild. And these Latinos, they love making babies too, just know that. They do. They do. There's no pulling out. They don't do that. They come inside, just like they did to our country.
Dude, this is really bad, man. Like, this is really bad. Like, I don't know how. This would bomb at like a small comedy club. Like,
okay,
I'm
okay. Are you
really
ready? Five head take. Joe Rogan secretly in a tank for Kamala Harris. Does this interview with Donald Trump specifically to get Donald Trump to have Tony Hinchcliffe as his opener. Tony Hinchcliffe bombs so hard. That is the real October surprise. That is the real third assassination attempt. That is actually assassinating the Trump campaign with these bits.
Because there's no way Trump looks at this and finds this funny. He's probably pissed.
This is so bad.
He's probably pissed, right?
This is like, I cannot look at this as anything but deliberate sabotage. Okay? You cannot view this in any other framework, dude. This has to be deliberate sabotage because holy moly, this sucks, dude. Latinos love to come. They never pull out. Or just like they came into our country. Oh my God, that's so bad. That's so bad, dude.
And he wrote it. That's what's crazy. He wrote it. I don't think that was improvised. He's reading off of something he wrote.
This is so bad, brother. This is, oh my God.
Republicans are the party with a good sense of humor.
Oh, come on.
It's crazy. I'm losing it. It's so bad, dude. He has like Elon Musk level stage presence there. It's awesome. What happened here?
So, before I create this piece of art, I would just like to give the art world a little something. I got it here somewhere. Oh, here it is. Bam!
What the is this guy?
Who the hell is he?
What is this guy? Okay, I need to see more. I need to watch the whole rally, dude. I think this rally is just like wall to wall fantastic. Bam! How you doing? F you, I'm the painter.
You.
Yeah, much like Adolf Hitler, all right? Yeah, me and him, we went both. We did paintings. I'm telling my kid that's Bruce Springsteen. The pizza party guy give his pizza. What is this? What? He's the guy who does the same painting at every Trump rally? Wait, I need to see more of this shit, dude. This is fire.
Today.
Okay, this stuff is boring. All right, get to the fun shit.
They lied of him raising his face. Step forward 9 years ago and
I mean,
who is that?
Who is this?
Yeah,
Stephen Miller.
The campaign guy, campaign manager.
Stephen Miller wrote most of Trump's immigration policy. He is a straight up Nazi. He's Jewish. He is a Santa Monica native, as a matter of fact. Yeah, he is Donald Trump's like Goebbels, basically. Wait, what?
This is the New York pizza party. Give us pizza or give us death.
This man was infuriated when he found out his home state of New York was banning coal oven pizzerias. That's the guy.
The woke.
Why do they all? Why do they all look like this?
Oh no!
Remember what I told you about like active MAGA cultists? Like they just have this very weird vibe. Okay, something doesn't add up. Like they almost always look like they're doing performance art. Okay,
I'll be honest. Pizza sounds good right now.
I'm kind of hungry too.
Anyway.
Like there's just always like a air of nervousness and panic. There's just something going on.
Idiots who run this city are doing everything in their power to destroy it. We have naked men with their titties bouncing around all over the city yesterday, in public, in front of children. We have the most violent, raging crime rate ever. We are being invaded by illegal immigrants who are being treated way better than our homeless veterans, our teachers, and first responder heroes who were fired.
That doesn't exist anymore. They moved them all into if this is what I think it is, it's actually probably not. This is the VA, next to the VA near Brentwood.
Who were fired, still not compensated because they didn't take the Fauci injection. Our city's...
Yeah! Antonio Fauci, real piece of shit, that guy. Yeah, he wanted to make all of us gay and autistic. I didn't take the vaccine. COVID fried my brain. Forget about it. Yeah. Now you done did it, you wokes. Yeah. Give me pizza or give me death over here. Real. Any conservatives in New York City must be in a tough spot. They can't stay there. It's a lost city. Yeah. Unsurprisingly, New York City didn't ban cold pizza ovens. They're trying to get 100 restaurants to add devices that capture particulate emissions.
Say enough, no more. America gets its future back. And what?
He is like actively one of the biggest Nazis in the Trump administration, or was. Like you remember child deterrence or child separation as a deterrence policy, like kids in cages?
Yes, yeah.
He wrote that.
Oh.
Like that was his plan.
Real stand-up guy,
Yeah.
huh?
Yeah, he's a straight up white supremacist. Like
Jesus Christ.
Let's see what kind of cool things he had to say. Wait, let's just look at having a normal one. Almost every speaker at this rally claimed that they tried to kill Trump. Rudy has a Howard Dean moment. Oh, Rudy had some crazy moments in it too, but let's see what else Stephen Miller had to say.
After lawsuit, after libel, lawsuit after lawsuit. They tried to jail him. They tried to bankrupt him. They tried to imprison him. And they even tried to take his life with not one, but 2 assassination attempts. And let me after libel.
They're really stretching on the second one. They're really stretching it.
Yeah. The second one doesn't count, bro. Come on.
Yeah.
The cartels are gone. The criminal migrants are gone. The gangs are gone. America is for Americans and Americans only. One man. And that man, ladies and gentlemen, that man took a bullet for you. He took a bullet for democracy.
Like, he didn't even take a bullet. Shut up. Shut up, bitch. Like, you can't claim he took a bullet, dude. It barely grazed his ear. Like, get the fuck out of here. Oh, God.
Who's that?
This is Brian Johnson or Brian Donaldson. He's a Florida guy.
Oh, great.
He's the Florida congressperson. He's the new crop of like black Republican
Florida's so cooked.
Whose job, or Byron, sorry, not Brian.
I never thought I'd see a day that Texas was less conservative than the state of Florida.
What? No, that's not true.
I stand by this. I'm not saying Texas is going to go blue, but Texas is going to vote to the left of Florida.
Byron Donalds.
You heard it here.
Byron Donald.
I think Texas is going to vote to the left of Florida. I'm not saying Texas is not turning blue, for the record, okay? But I think Texas is going to vote to the left of Florida.
Oh, you're saying Florida is going to be like plus 20 red, whereas Texas is going to be like plus 10.
Yes.
Like, okay.
That's what I mean.
I don't know. I don't know what the latest polls look like, but you might be right. Like I think Colin Oliver has a better shot.
Yes, 100%.
Like, but that's also because Ted Cruz sucks. He's just so bad.
I was in Mrs. Chat, and it was a little bit testy when I was talking about like other issues, but when I talked about Ted Cruz, it was unanimous. That's how I got Miz to the polls.
You did?
He's not politically involved. I was like, you remember the guy that up your power in 2021?
And then
he's like, he was the guy? I'm going to vote against him. That's what he did.
That's like, that
That's
actually is like a very, that actually is a very solid line, I think, against Ted Cruz. Like, he is Cancun Cruz. He escaped to Cancun when you didn't have power.
He didn't even know what his name was. He's like, is that the guy that went to Cancun?
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, that's the guy. Go vote against him. It's like, that guy.
Yeah, everybody hates him. He probably still will. I hope he loses. I really do. I hope he loses.
I saw a poll that said they were tied, but I don't know how accurate that is.
All right. Let's.
Probably not. It's like a C-rated pollster.
This was
It's not very.
That's
good.
when you know. That's when you know
cooked.
you're cooked. Oh, Grant Cardone is insane. He apparently has some violent. What was the line that he said? You showed me. Where I was like, what the? Why is? Grant Cardone went nutty mode. I didn't even know he had that dog in him. Like, I know he's like a right-wing guy, but and his wife is like doing a super PAC for Donald Trump. But I had no idea that he was like this insane. He says he had some of the hottest takes on the podium.
No, this is complete gone. Not even her simp Mark Cuban can sell this. Even Marky Boy says this would destroy the global economy and take the USA down with it. Ladies and gentlemen, Kamala Harris is the least qualified candidate to ever run for any political office in American history. She makes her boss look competent. She's a fake. I'm not here to invalidate her. She's a fake, a fraud. She's a pretender. Her and her pimp handlers will destroy our country.
Oh my God.
I think
crazy.
I think people.
That is crazy.
I think people should be scared to say stuff like this.
That
like, is that controversial? Like,
no, it's not.
And I don't mean like physical violence or whatever. I'm not saying that at all. But like, you should be. If you're not going to be embarrassed by statements like this, you should at least be like afraid that people are going to look at you and be like, "Oh, you're like a massive racist."
People have been spending so much time on Twitter and in their algorithm that they think that you can go out and say stuff like this.
Like, what the is going on, man? What is happening? Like, I just
they think that there's so many like-minded people around them that they feel like everybody feels this way, but they're in a fake place. Twitter isn't a real place.
I know, but like
most people would listen to that and be like, "Holy, that's crazy."
There's more. This is where he says the slaughter thing.
They will. They've already crippled the dollar, manufactured inflation, imported a virus, censored your voices, funded transgender surgeries, and made empty promises to the middle class for 50 years. This election has to be more than a victory. It needs to be a landslide. We need to slaughter this other people. We need to bring 100 million votes to Donald Trump.
What the?
Oh, I can't wait till these cocksuckers lose.
Dude, what the
God.
fuck?
I want them to lose so bad.
Dude, that is... I mean, this is a Nazi rally, dude. This is straight up. That is nuts, dude.
Did I just use a homophobic...
I mean, you did, but it's got such cocksucker has such good mouthfeel.
I know, it's so good.
It's such a good one, dude.
It's such a great one. I'm sorry.
Also, it's not just like gay people that suck penis.
Yeah, it's
you
true.
know?
That's true. That's true.
So it's also misogynistic.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's true. That's true.
Yeah,
those are the two primary groups.
You did do that. You did do that. I sometimes say it too, because it's such it's a bar.
It's good. It's weird, yeah, because he probably don't even suck cock like I do. It's just so weird.
Not 74, not 81, 100 million votes.
This is just dumb guy shit.
Can you do it?
No, you can't. No, you can't. You can't do it. Okay.
We need to slaughter them.
can't do it.
So yeah, here is
It's statistically like it's just not even possible.
here is Rudolph Giuliani, America's mayor. He had some bars too.
He started to look like an animated old guy. Like if you were to animate an old guy.
I love his little tie that he's wearing. He's probably shilling some coffee too. Like, come on, buy my coffee at RudolphGiuliani.com. Come on, I'm bankrupt. I had to sell my condominium. My New York penthouse, I had to sell it.
Hamas is
Broke boy. Oh, he came in hot.
Hamas is not there for us. Iran is not there for us. They want.
You know what's crazy about these guys that are like so unconditionally pro-Israel? They also are like unimaginably anti-Semitic. Remember Rudolph Giuliani? He was like, he said a whole bunch of shit about Jewish people. Let me see if I can find some of his choice words, okay?
Are you ordering food, by the way?
Not yet, because the restaurant doesn't open yet.
Okay, I'm gonna order my Chick-fil-A's.
Giuliani maligns Jews and women in transcript filed in harassment case.
Jesus Christ.
He had like a really funny line about the Red Sea. I love that one. That was actually kind of funny. Transcript cut out there. It was not clear whether Giuliani elaborated. In another portion, he engaged in a derisive discussion of the size of Jewish men's genitals. Mr. Kelton wrote in a filing accompanying the transcripts that they were replete with provably false assertions. What? Where is it? Where the fuck? He was saying that like Jews, he says, they want to go through that friggin' Passover all the time. Man, oh man, get over the Passover. It was like 3,000 years ago. Okay, the Red Sea parted. Big deal. Not the first time that happened. That is the funniest thing to say about Moses. Like, first of all, not only does this assume that Moses did actually part the Red Sea, okay, like physically he did that. That was a real thing that occurred, but also that it is actually something that has happened multiple times. Okay, like you can't write that. That's funnier than anything Tony Hinchcliffe has ever said in his entire life. Okay, oh, big deal. It's happened multiple times. It's so commonplace. Didn't he say something about Italian dicks versus Jewish dicks? Yeah, he did. He said that Jewish men have small penises, but Italian men have big penises or something like that too. Yeah. Who amongst us hasn't part of the Red Sea? What the Anyway. The broader context of his Matt Damon is 5'2", he says, adding inexplicably, eyes are blue, coochie coochie coo. He's gonna get Chick-fil-A. You want some Chick-fil-A? As a ginger, it happens every time I part my hair in the middle. Nice. CNN explaining why some jokes are funny and some are not to Vivek. Yeah, Vivek knows.
Are you sure? You don't want anything else? Here, take seriously whatever you want. Please don't hold back.
Yeah, he's rich, bro. He's rich.
Yeah,
like trust me.
I mean, I've been. No, I'm
no,
not,
he's rich. He's rich as dude. Dude,
I do well for myself.
Run his pockets, okay? Run his pockets.
Hasan doesn't want to tell you this. I've been making more money for longer than Hasan has for a long time.
Hamas is not there for us. Iran is not there for us. They want to kill us. And the Palestinians are taught to kill us at 2 years old. They will.
That's crazy.
Like it's so insane that he's saying this, right? Like when you remove the context of it, you're like, wow, that's an unimaginably racist thing to say. But you want a drink or anything, fries? It's also funny. Like the idea that a group of individuals like Palestinians are taught to kill Americans at the age of 2 is such a funny line. I'm sorry.
No fries.
I can't take it seriously.
No fries. Yeah.
They're learning to kill Americans at 2 years old. What the?
They won't let a Palestinian in Jordan. They won't let a Palestinian in Egypt. And Harris
That's also ridiculous. Half of the Jordanian population is Palestinian.
wants to bring them to you. They may have good people. I'm sorry I don't take a risk with people that are taught to kill Americans at 2. I'm on the side of Israel.
Why is he so like beholden to that line that they like who told him this? Did he not think about this? Like has he not had a 2-year-old child at a certain point? Like he has children. He knows what a 2-year-old does. 2-year-olds are like pissing in their pants and shit. Like what do you mean? Like why 2? Why didn't he just say like, oh, they learn to hate America by the time they become teenagers or some shit? Like why specifically 2? Because he repeats it again. Because he's like, specifically at the age of 2, Palestinians learn to hate America. Bold of you to assume he actually took care of them. Yeah, that's true.
You're on the side of Israel. Donald Trump's on the side of Israel. And they're on the side of the terrorists.
Yeah, America first, by the way.
Hamas is not there for us. Iran.
More Islamophobia, the Trump rally. Oh, there's some choice moments. Oh, this one was crazy too. This guy's out of his mind. We'll get to that in a second. Hold on. We did the slaughter one. There's more. Now they're trying to kill him. They called Kamala Harris the Antichrist, the devil. Contrast between Harris event in Philadelphia. Byron Donalds comes out to John Cena music. Mike Johnson lies that the Democrats are full-on Marxism.
This is not your father's Democratic Party. They are now full-on to Marxism and socialism. They don't envision for us to save the founding principles and the greatest nation in the history of the world.
Doesn't this guy monitor his son's porn usage?
Yeah, he does.
Oh.
Yeah, that's the normal guy, by the way.
Gotcha, yeah.
Like
that's what I thought.
That's the funniest part about this is like the Mike Johnson's supposed to be like the buttoned up guy.
Yeah,
he is the guy. Yeah, buttoned up.
They monitor each other's porn.
Yeah,
usage
his son monitors his porn usage as well.
Makes sense.
Yeah, cool.
What a
cool
fucking
stuff.
weirdo.
No, I like he exudes this like very weird energy. I feel like he's the type of dude who like if he finds himself like around a woman that's not his wife that he like even remotely thinks is attractive, he goes back home and just like whips himself. Like at the end of the day, he's like, "Oh, it's time for my punishment." Like I don't know why. I'm almost certain of it. I like it's just that is exactly the vibes that he puts out.
He probably calls it. Yeah, he probably calls her to tell her too.
Yeah,
that he found somebody else attractive.
You know, he is definitely a self-flagellator. Yes.
What they envision for us is that we would be some sort of European-style Marxist borderless utopia. We all know that's a dangerous fool's errand. This is not your father's
European style.
Yeah, European. Yeah.
Yeah, it would be really bad if we got healthcare.
Terrible. Have you been to Europe? It's a wasteland.
Yeah, it's on fire.
Yeah, it's a wasteland.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Bro gives me Ned Flanders, but Nazi vibes, yes.
By the way, we didn't choose the name for that by random. Merit Street Media. This country was built on hard work, added
slavery, indigenous genocide, and a whole bunch of racist anti-immigration sentiment after we used and abused other groups of migrants as well.
Value and talent, not on equal outcome, not on DEI. This country was built on hard work.
Well,
by the way,
you skipped a few places there.
Dr. Phil got a job from Oprah and he's against DEI. Yeah, dude, this is, don't remind me, okay? That is, yeah. Oprah unleashed this demon upon us, okay? I will never forgive her for that, nor will I forget. Yeah.
Watched Dr. Phil when I came home from school.
This country was built on hard work and merit. That's why I love Donald Trump, who worked very hard, bankrupt 6 of his businesses, and got hundreds of millions of dollars from his daddy. Oh, so this was an insane one. Howard Lutnick, CEO of Cantor Fitzgerald and co-chair of Trump's transition team at MSG rally.
So the first thing, we must elect Donald J. Trump president because we must crush jihad.
What year is it?
What year is it?
It's nuts. It's nuts. I don't know what year it is, but for them it's 2001.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, it's November
He hasn't
of
left.
It is November of 2001
Yeah.
right now. It's not November of 2024.
Jesus Christ.
We must crush jihad. God damn, dude.